Hey everyone, Adolfo Costa here. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for clicking. Today we're going to be doing another reaction video. And today, because Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is out in theaters now, breaking all sorts of box office records, I'm going to do a Marvel film that I haven't actually caught up with. And that is this past year's Black Widow. Now, this is going to be labeled as a first-time reaction, but full disclosure, technically I've seen it before. But I saw it when it came to Disney Plus, and I gotta be honest, I kind of fell asleep. So I haven't actually really watched it. I remember a couple things, like I remember David Harbour being a pretty funny character, but I don't remember anything else about it because I fell asleep through the movie, so I couldn't tell you what the plot is. I know it takes place after Civil War, and then it takes place before Infinity War. I think it is kind of like a side quill, not really a prequel, but like a side quill. So I'm gonna see if it's any good. I don't really have my hopes up for it because I really never. I mean, look how long it's taken me to actually watch it. But that said, I'm gonna give it a shot here, and I'm gonna do a first-time reaction, first-time watching to this one. So that's gonna be pretty much the intro here. I don't really have anything else to say. Say hi to my dog Daisy. She's gonna be watching along with us today, and you know, grab your preferred beverage of choice. I've got my big trusty jug of water here, and your preferred snack of choice. And let's watch Black Widow. Okay, not how I expected to start this off. Okay, flashback. I guess this isn't that. Now, Yelena, I did actually watch Hawkeye, and I saw that Yelena pops up in that show. So this is Yelena, looks like. Ooh, Rachel Weisz. You can't go wrong with Rachel Weisz. So how is this going to play into, how is bioluminescence going to play into this? Or is it just showing that she knows a lot about, you know, chemistry and nature and things? Caviar and champagne, very Russian. I do like the art direction here. It does seem like a very 90s household. Okay, so they're like Russian plants, like Russian sleeper agents, like what's that show called? It'll come to me. I know everyone's screaming at me right now. The Americans. It's interesting that they dressed the young Natasha as kind of like a tomboy, when, as we know, later on she grows out to be like this very voluptuous, sexy, you know, feminine woman. But she can't take a book with her? Oh, of course, on the 4th of July. Oh, I'm assuming it is anyway, right? And we're playing Miss American Pie, really? A little more Americana with some American football there. Seeing that, saying goodbye to all her American-ness. Also, if I'm not as entertaining as some other videos, it's because I'm doing this in the middle of the day as opposed to late at night, where in my previous videos, I may or may not have taken a little something that's only legal in certain states. Oh, they got a plane. I don't remember any of this. Oh, look at that. Oh, shield. Do we find out what he stole? And I know he had like a floppy disk, but I mean, one floppy disk. I mean, I know this part is set in the 90s, but how much information could that have really held? I mean, if it was like state secrets, it's probably several floppy disks, you know. You know, I gotta tell you, ever since I've had kids, and I got 2 daughters, and they're both young, ever since I've had kids, like, I can't watch scenes where children are in peril or where they're really sad, which is what we got both here. It really does have an effect on me, and it's, you know, sometimes it's really cheap, but for whatever reason it gets to me sometimes. Like, I can't really, that little girl that plays Yelena, it's I don't like seeing her sad little face. You know, I think this would be a better scene if it wasn't all CGI. You can tell it's CGI. I would have preferred if it was, you know, they actually just crashed some cars. Oh, that was a neat transition. Are they going to Cuba? Cuba. I wonder how long a plane is from Ohio to Cuba. No, I can't. I can't with the kids crying. I can't. So 95, they weren't really. It said 1995. The Soviet Union had collapsed. So this is just, this is post-Soviet Russia. So why is he called the Red Guardian? I mean, I know who the Red Guardian is from the comics, but he's not really. It's not really a red country anymore, right? They cast these actresses really well. They do look like a young Scarlett Johansson and a young Florence Pugh. Hey. Okay, I'm going to probably mute this part just so I don't get busted for some DMCA stuff, because I'm not sure if you noticed, but my Star Wars video last week did get taken down, so did my Harry Potter one. They should both be up. Star Wars, I think, is back up, but Harry Potter is still taking a while to clear, unfortunately. But in the background, we're hearing the Think Up Anger cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. And it just reminds me that that song was used to promote the horror movie The Gallows, which I'm not sure if you've ever seen The Gallows, but it is an awful movie. An awful, awful horror movie. Just like the predictable, boring, stupid. Just mini review here, don't watch it. That said, I kind of like this cover. Also, in case I haven't mentioned it, I'm using a different microphone. Just because I didn't like the headset. So hopefully this doesn't, this gives us some decent audio quality. And if it doesn't, well, I'll switch it up next time. Hey, DuckTales. Just saw a flash of Vladimir Putin. And man, I don't know if that's going to age well or not. He's basically our modern day Hitler. Fuck that guy. I think I kind of remember this. She's watching them, but it turns out she's in a different location or something, I think, right? I think that's what it is. Ah, R.I.P. William Hurt. I hope that wasn't his last movie. So a second ago, he just called Ant-Man the Incredible Shrinking Convict. Or, he made reference to Ant-Man as the Incredible Shrinking Convict, which is a reference to, yeah, there you go, she's not in the same place. That's what I thought. Which is a reference to The Incredible Shrinking Man from the 50s, which, despite its cheesy title, is an incredibly, pardon the pun, incredible science fiction movie. I would suggest everyone go out of their way to watch it. It's really good. The ending especially is probably one of the best endings in sci-fi. Morocco. What was that? Wait, what was that? What happened there? What did I miss? Here's Taskmaster. Taskmaster is a really cool villain from Marvel. I don't remember how they use him in this movie. I do know that, I don't remember at all how they use him in this movie, because again, I fell asleep. But Taskmaster is a really sweet villain where he can mimic the fighting styles of other people, and he has like photographic memory and photographic reflex or something. That's his superpower, and he can like fight like any Avenger basically, and be a threat to them. So did that red gas like brainwash her or something? Like, what was that? Who's this now? Hey, Moonraker. They didn't leave her much gas for the generator. Okay, who's this now? Oh, it's Taskmaster. He's gonna want to get the shield back, no? Oh, he got it. Okay, so it looks like this Taskmaster is his helmet is telling him how to react to things as opposed to like his own reflexes. I don't know if I like that. I wonder if we're going to get like an actual reveal as to who Taskmaster is, or if it's always just going to be an unknown person. I think it'd be cool if he was just unknown. Okay, so how does she have these vials? Like, this is not something they ever... I don't understand. Oh, man. Okay, it's like the third or fourth time they've used the shot above, like the kind of the bird's eye view shot to show the action. I don't know how much they're gonna keep doing that. Oh, so it is mind control.
There was no body left to check.
Come on, Natasha. Rookie mistake. Jesus Christ. I mean, so how has Natasha not known that this was still going on with these Black Widow assassins? Well, whoever that was is dead. See, now these are real stunts here. You can tell. Okay, so why does Yelena still have an accent but Natasha doesn't? That guy's dead. So's that one. And that one. Yeah, all these people are dead. It's a cool interpretation of the costume. I look fake as shit. You know, I know they're super spies and everything, but come on, they wouldn't have survived that. Whee! I can't look at those Captain America shields the same after Multiverse of Madness. If you know, you know. Okay, so your hero killed a little girl. That's not great. But one thing's for sure, this movie certainly does pass the Bechdel test. That is kind of funny. So I know they're in a different country, but they're really just talking about killing people in front of this guy who could speak English, for all they know. So she said something a little earlier that said that she's not really her sister, so they're not related. Okay, so they're not the children of David Harbour and Rachel Weisz. Biological children, I should say. I gotta be honest, I don't love the fact that they're not the biological kids of David Harbour and Rachel Weisz, because I think the story is more interesting if they are the biological kids that they were basically given up for this, Black Widow Red Room project thing, as opposed to just being like random kids that they picked up off the street and then adopted. I think it's better if they're biological kids. Hi, Daisy. Ow. You didn't finish your tattoo. So, why didn't you just break out before? Hey. Hey. It's funny because David Harbour in Stranger Things Season 3 was stuck in a Russian prison. And in Black Widow, he's still stuck in a Russian prison. I think it's funny. I like how she's called Black Widow, and the movie is Black Widow, and yet she's wearing white.
This would be a cool way to die.
So they're just going to kill all these prisoners in an avalanche. And these Russian guards. I like the idea of a fat, out of shape super soldier. It's funny. Yeah, all those prisoners are dead.
Should have brought the Avengers.
Yeah, he's the best part of the movie so far. Why does he think he fought Captain America? Captain America was on ice the whole time.
More proud to be.
He really is the best part of the movie. Oh, Piggy. Rachel Weisz basically hasn't aged. Which, to be fair, if you watch her in The Mummy and you look at this, The Mummy from 1999, and you look at this, it looks exactly the same. He's trying to get into the suit. Does he have Karl Marx on his fist? That's hilarious. Oh, let the poor pig breathe. Yeah. I just think it would have been better if they actually were the biological children. I think this would have been much more interesting dynamic. There's the book. Alright, so we're about halfway through this movie, and I gotta be honest, I'm not super invested in it. The only thing that I think is really worth while, I like this sequence, this dynamic between the family, I think is pretty good, but up until I've been generally kind of tuned out, to be honest. This is not, so far, Marvel's strongest effort. And it's no wonder I forgot or fell asleep through most of this. Wanna come up here? I've got a guest.
Crimson Dynamo, and no one wants
Hey,
to hear
Vivi.
from him. No one wants to hear from him.
Crimson Dynamo. He was the Red Guardian. For those who don't know, Crimson Dynamo was the counterpart to Tony Stark Iron Man. They did a little bit of it in Iron Man 2 whenever Whiplash put on the armor, but it's not really quite the Crimson Dynamo. Or was he supposed to be Titanium Man? No, I don't remember. Oh, so she betrayed them? Oh, that's neat. So given that this thing is up in the sky, this thing is just going to crash down to Earth, right? That's what's going to happen with this. That's enough. That's enough. I'm going to make a bold prediction here. Taskmaster is his daughter, isn't it? You'd introduce her as his daughter and then, like, not do anything with that. And the Taskmaster is all, like, completely messed up. Come on, Taskmaster. The whole double-cross sneaky thing was kind of cool. But overall, what is it about this movie? It's just not connecting with me. Also, what's with the shaky cam? Like, fucking use a just clamp the shot down. Why are we shaking it around so much, man? Just kill him. I mean, what are you waiting for? Oh, I guess Taskmaster is there. It's his daughter. Yep, there it is. Yeah, I mean, I called it, but this is kind of a stupid plot twist. I mean, I know it was set up and everything, but it just doesn't do anything for me. Plus, Taskmaster, it's dumb. Okay, so there was a reason she couldn't kill him. At least there's that, because that was dumb. I mean, this is the problem with this kind of movie, is that I'm not invested in what happens to Natasha, because I know she lives, because I know she shows up in Infinity War, and this really should have been released before Infinity War and in Endgame, because it would have made more sense. But I know that they didn't plan on a Black Widow movie before then, and they kind of retroactively planned this movie, and yeah, that was their fault. I wonder, does anybody, when you go, I know people like to go back and watch all the movies, and I do as well. Do you put this movie, do you watch this in chronological order, or do you watch it in release order? Like, do you put this after Civil War, or do you watch it, like, in order of release? So it would make more sense. There's nothing really that spoils anything in Infinity War Endgame here, so it would make sense to watch it in a chronological order. I mean, she can take on Avengers, or not Avengers, but I mean, she can super-powered threats. So this guy should be kind of easy to take on. All right, can we be done with the trope of going through air ducts? It's been done. Like, nobody did it better than Die Hard, and after that, like, everyone's been copying it. I know, Daisy. So she just stopped herself from smelling? And this is where the whole thing goes down. Yeah, this is really formulaic. I'm gonna be honest, I think they kind of wasted Taskmaster on this movie. First of all, I think they're probably gonna kill her, and probably not gonna survive the rest of this film. Oh, Hurricane Rana. Yeah, I just don't. You really didn't get enough of Taskmaster, and we really didn't get enough of the mimicking. My dog has found a spider. Go ahead, eat it. It's pretty big and nasty, honestly. Wouldn't mind if she killed it. Why are they all standing around just watching? Like, why don't they all just gang up on her? Get that spider, Daisy. Get it. But they're standing around taking turns. It doesn't make any sense. Just gang up on her and kill her. Also, did I miss? Why didn't Black Widow or Natasha, why did she not have the vials on her that could have... Oh. I mean, okay, that's cool, but why didn't Natasha just have them on her? That would have made everything easier, no? Maybe I missed it while I was talking, I don't remember. So we've got just this army of widows that are out there now. What are they going to do? This thing is still crashing. This thing should have fallen by now, no? So what are all these widows going to do now? Like, oh, and then she's releasing everybody else. That makes sense. Ah, man, it's just... The effects look really bad here. Some of the stunt work has been okay, but the VFX have not been great. Yeah, I'm just not feeling this. I'm feeling... I'm not invested in any of this at all. This is just kind of generic violence and explosions to me right now. And to be honest, this is not a thing against the Black Widow character. I think Black Widow deserves better than this. This is just not a great film. It's frustrating how generic this action sequence is. I feel nothing right now. I feel like there's like no stakes here. And I know that they've written stakes, but like I don't feel like the characters are in peril. This thing takes longer to blow up than the Death Star. So here's the thing, there are other Marvel movies that might not have the greatest VFX either, but like the stories or the investment in the characters make me kind of overlook that. Whereas I'm just so not invested in this movie at all that like I can't overlook the bad VFX. The only thing I've liked so far really about this movie is I think Yelena is a fun addition, and I think Red Guardian is fun. But the rest of it, like, I just find myself not caring at all. And honestly, Yelena might be because the reason I like Yelena so much is because I love Florence Pugh. I think she's a fantastic actress ever since I saw her in Midsummer and Little Women. I never saw Fighting with My Family. I heard she's good in that too, but she's excellent. Also, it doesn't hurt that she's like very attractive. So after all that, we're not going to actually kill Dreykov. Like, yeah, you killed him in an explosion, but like, Natasha should have actually killed him. That's kind of a neat shot. I'll give him that. Look at that green screen. Wouldn't the red stuff work on her? Yeah, okay, that's what she's doing. Alright, got it. Alright, so Taskmaster doesn't die, but I just think they kind of wasted Taskmaster in this movie. I don't even know if I hate that they made her a woman. I don't really know if I hate that. I just don't care. Honestly, it would have been better if either Black Widow or Antonia killed Dreykov. But he died in an explosion. Like, there's just no drama in that. Alright, so her storyline is going to be she's going to go and pick up all the different widows and release them, right? That's where she's going. Well, I'm surprised. I actually thought everyone would die except her because they don't come back, but looks like they do survive. Which I'm glad. I'm glad the Red Guardian at least survives. Oh, he got her the jet. I mean, how did he get her a jet? Whatever. And we get the Avengers theme. Okay, great. Oh, look, we got a Firefly. Yeah, that was an anticlimactic ending. All right, let's stick around for the post-credit sequences. You know, it's funny, as we wait for the post-credit sequence to come up, I went to see Multiverse of Madness the other night, and there are still people that just walk out when the credits come on. Like, how have you not been trained to leave after the credits are over now with all the stuff that happens? And for those who haven't seen it, first of all, Multiverse of Madness is awesome. Lots of cool stuff. But the mid-credit sequence is actually something that teases for the future, whereas the end credit sequence is more of like a joke that's set up earlier in the film. So you don't necessarily have to stick around for that one, but it's worth the joke. especially if you're a Sam Raimi fan. It's interesting they don't do the in this film they kind of have like the end credit sequence in most Marvel movies where they do their credits usually are like, you know, the fancy graphic end credits where you see like, you know, produced by, written by, directed by, you know, plus all the cast, and then it says Marvel Studios presents Black Widow, big emotional score, and then you get the mid-credit sequence, and then after that you get like these regular scrolling credits. So it's interesting that they didn't do this here. Okay, here we go. Post-credit sequence. Yeah, Fanny. Oh, puppy. Probably nothing buried there since she's still since technically Natasha's still on that soul stone planet. Probably just an empty grave. Oh, hey. Okay, so this sets up the Hawkeye series. Alright, well, that was Black Widow. So as you can see, Daisy has joined us again for the very end of the film. Yeah, Black Widow. I can see why I fell asleep the first time through. It's not very good. It's not terrible, to be fair. It's not terrible. It's just not great. It's very forgettable. I was not invested in pretty much anything that was happening pretty much in all of the third act. It was very formulaic. It was very predictable. I just didn't really care about a lot of what was happening. I liked Yelena. I liked the Red Guardian. I kind of would like to see them in the future. It's interesting that they set up all these Black Widows that are out there now that could be, you know, doing something cool potentially. But the fact that this came out after Endgame, after Black Widow already died, there was so much that it does a lot of work to try to make you care, but I just don't care. And the action sequences were really, just fell really flat to me. Yeah, this is not Marvel's strongest effort. And honestly, I think Black Widow, the character, deserved better than this movie. The character deserved, Natasha Romanoff, the character deserved a movie somewhere in Phase 3 before she was dead. And, you know, this movie would have been slotted perfectly in between after Captain America Civil War. It would have been fine. But just, you know, it just didn't do much for me. This is probably it's not among the worst Marvel movies. I mean, it's certainly not Thor: The Dark World. It's certainly not Iron Man 2. But it's not up there. It's probably in the middle somewhere. I just don't care. I just didn't care about anything that was going on in here. And honestly, it's very forgettable overall. So that's my review of Black Widow. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed Daisy's little cameos here and there. I don't know what's going to be coming up for next week. But yeah, stay tuned for the channel. I'm trying to get these out, you know, once a week, every Friday or so. Please make sure you like and subscribe because, you know, I am trying to grow this channel and trying to do more of these. Please follow me on Facebook at The Essential Films. Follow me on Twitter at Essential Films. And please listen to my podcast, The Essential Films Podcast. I haven't had a new episode in a while. Hope to fix that soon. But yeah, you can get that pretty much at anywhere you can download podcasts. My podcast should be available on there. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.